Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, we're continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing Paizo Publishing's Pathfinder 2nd Edition, set in Greg Gillespie's very, very cool Barrowmaze Complete. And with me tonight are the stars of the Barrowmaze campaign. First up is George.
Hey, I'm George. I'm playing Bargle the Infamous, who is a human wizard with a criminal background, which everybody's caught on to at this point, so might as well admit
it. And next up is John.
Hey, everyone. I'm Jonathan. I'm playing Zuko. Yes, the name is referenced to Avatar. And he is a fire-wielding goblin that also heals people. And, I think he ticked off Orcus last episode.
Excellent. And last but not least is Carl.
I'm Carl. I'm playing Buka Duskort, who is a halfling alchemist.
Lovely. Okay, so where we last left our heroes... Actually, let me grab a token for Buka. Where did I leave Buka last?
We were in Helix. We made it back to Helix.
Oh, sorry. I meant more his token. I was trying to remember where I left his token. Oh, you know what? I started a token tab here. Let's see if I was smart and actually put your... Oopsies. I put your character tokens in there. No, I just have a bunch of other things in there. Great.
Monsters and deadly things.
Yeah, monsters, exactly. So, I think the last we saw Buka, yeah, you were just... let's see here. It is now the morning after you guys have returned from your expedition to the Barrowmaze, or your most recent one, where you recovered the bone blossoms.
Yep.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like the rest of the guys have been relaxing, or at least Sir Yvain and Zuko and Bargle have been had been relaxing in the Brazen Strumpet, talking about what had happened. Well, let me back up here, but I am interested in hearing what Buka has been up to. But let's first talk about what happened last session. What do you guys remember after arriving back in Helix? What happened last session?
Well, as you said, we went to the Brazen Strumpet, and we were trying to rest, relax, and recuperate from our journey to the Barrow Moor, which was nearly deadly for many of us. However, while we were discussing our theories as to what might be going on in the Barrow Moor, and sort of a greater degree in terms of the undead and the corrupted barrows, we discovered that we were being listened to by a woman at the bar.
Yes.
We tried to interact with her, mostly Sir Yvain.
Interact. Is that what the kids are calling it now?
Exactly. Interacted with her, and so that did not go so well, and we were politely told to scram. So we have some theories about maybe what's going on, but more interestingly, we all adjourned for the night, and while the rest of us were sleeping, Sir Yvain had some kind of dream, sort of vision mixed with reality, where he saw Sir Albus. This is what he had told us later.
Yeah.
He saw Sir Albus outside his window. He went to investigate. He was a ghostly figure, kind of a specter, still wearing his armor, and he was trying to communicate with us, or with Sir Yvain anyway. And essentially showed Sir Yvain a series of images and sounds that led us to believe that there's something going on with the Mother of Toads, with Saint Yig, with these froglings. And we ultimately, putting all that together, we kind of, in the morning, discussed what that all might mean. And we think that we have to go to this cemetery/breeding ground of the froglings, where there is a monolith oak, similar to the one that we've now acquired, that was given to Sir Yvain during this encounter, this branch. And we need to travel there and figure out why we're being called to go there. But if Sir Albus is the one asking us to do it, we think that it's important to do.
Who's Sir Albus?
And sorry, what was that, Carl?
Who is Sir Albus?
Zuko doesn't
Sir
know.
Albus is well, actually, Kev, you probably could give it better background on.
No,
it.
I'm curious. What you guys know about Sir Albus is or your characters know about Sir Albus is probably more interesting than.
Right. So Bargle doesn't care, but what he knows is that, or what he thinks he understands, is that Sir Bargle's from the same order that Sir Yvain is from, religious order.
Did you say Sir Bargle?
What's that?
He said Sir Bargle.
United
Oh, I said
yourself.
Sir Bargle. I should be a knight. I mean, I don't know why that. In fact, I'm just gonna
Absolutely.
forge some paperwork, my knighthood paperwork. Don't tell Arlen I said that. So Arlen, don't watch this. My understanding is that he comes from the same order. He was here in the past. He was killed, I think, while in the Barrowmoor.
Yes.
Not entirely sure if it's in the Barrowmoor. Okay, yeah. So it wasn't in the Barrowmaze itself. And then he was haunting Wes Littlefoot. Who already has haunted Wes Littlefoot in the past, which really freaked Wes out, but was always coming to convey some kind of information, but in a very, metaphorical way. Never like.
Well, it does appear there's two different, because Wes, the thing that sent Wes on that bender, when you guys got back from rescuing Tamsin from the vampires, Wes claims that he saw Sir Albus mounted on a horse.
Right.
So he's seen a spectral apparition of him, and he has also apparently seen a corporeal version of Sir Albus as well.
So we're not quite sure what it all means, but we have our theories, but that's the limited information that Bargle has purposefully retained about this person.
Okay, cool.
And then one other quick thing is that Hendon, who was the father of Tamsin, who we had gone into the Barrowmoor to find the blood blossom to cure, was on the mend, and the ritual procedure seemed to be going well last we checked in on him. So that seems like there's nothing else we can do to help with that.
Cool. Okay.
I think that's basically where we left off. Like, there was a black toad with yellow eyes that we thought might be a shaman or a leader or something, that was in this vision as well. So, yeah.
Black toad with yellow eyes.
Yeah, and I can't remember if that is the mother of toads. No, the mother of toads lives outside Bogtown.
Yes. Where the Mother of Toads came in was that when you were talking about the when Sir Yvain described that that vision to you, it reminded you of this, this guy you met at Bogtown who said that the Mother of Toads told him about this place, and that because these fools just lay their dead to rest in there along with their greatest treasures. It's just it's an open bog. That's effectively a tomb to ripe for the looting. So he was going to go there, and then you never saw him again.
Okay.
Right. Which sounds great to me, because that means the treasure's still out there.
Exactly.
Wow. And Jonathan, I don't know did I miss anything that you remember?
Other than the monument trees that become harder as they age. That seemed an important bit, but no, that was it.
Cool. So that's what we were up to.
Okay. Last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what that means is we don't know what Buka went off on his own when he got back, either up to his room or something. What do you think he's been doing last night, or he was doing last night?
Buka was trying to look for someone who knew anything about making snowshoes or something that would help us walk through the snow better.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's possible, and maybe in the long term.
Yeah.
But,
remember, I mean, like what you see in the sort of illustration of Helix, that is the size of it. Like, this is a village.
Oh yeah, there's like no one in this.
Yeah.
Place.
Like you might the person who may
windmill guy.
The person who may know best for that would likely be Hendon. But I mean, Hendon is still currently fighting off a vampiric infection. So
what Buka probably just spends time, making sure he has the right alchemies, because last time he threw out the dud alchemy instead of the big one. So he's making sure.
That's right. I forgot. Okay.
So
So
he probably he lays low. Maybe
sure.
goes to where these guys said they're going to hang out in the morning.
Was
Tries to
Buka? I can't
find
remember.
them.
Buka, was he fatigued or not?
I don't think so. My fort save is pretty good, so I don't think he was fatigued.
I think it was only Wes.
It was only Wes, yeah.
Right.
The other.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, a good night's rest. Well, we're gonna pick up from the morning after, and this is where Zuko, Sir Yvain, and Bargle were talking around kind of the breakfast table about this vision that Sir Yvain had. And what he's decided, Sir Yvain, is that he's going to go prey on it. He's going to get more, more direction on this. And so that leaves you guys. And then that's around the point when Buka comes back down. And Buka, you'll have now recovered any of your, any of your abilities that recover at, in the morning. After a rest, and you also get to regain. It's your Constitution modifier, minimum 1 times your level in hit points.
Zuko can also apply magic healing if you like.
What was that healing rate again?
It's your Constitution modifier, minimum 1 times your level.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's what you would have gained. So Buka comes down and sits, and what are you guys going to do? You have the day stretches before you. It seems that your other allies are occupied right now. What are you guys thinking of making use of this day to do?
Well, we just acquired a charged staff, wand of, was it a staff of fire?
Staff of Fire, yeah.
Correct.
So maybe me and Bargle are trying to figure out how to, attune ourselves to the staff.
Yeah, well, I mean, with your morning preparation, someone could have attuned to it. The rules. Oh, let's see here.
So it's only one person at a time. So.
Well, I was just saying, like, one of you guys can choose to have attuned to it, and I'll leave it to you guys to decide who that is.
Well, Bargle, I mean.
Well, I think right now, Bargle has identified it, so that means he can attune. You would still need to.
Yeah, but he wants to give it to Zuko for the moment, because he feels like right now he doesn't need it, and this is a good way to maintain allies.
Yep.
So that when he does something that people don't like, somebody will back him up.
Yeah.
Plus, if Zuko has a staff, he can save his other spells for healing. So.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have you attune to it, and I'll show you what I have learned. But maybe you can figure out something even more than I have.
Okay.
But I'm curious to see how attunement works, actually.
Yeah.
So attunement is on. Let's see here. For staves, I just went past it. So on page 592. During your daily preparations, you can prepare a staff to add charges to it for free. When you do so, that staff gains a number of charges equal to the highest level of spell you're able to cast. You don't need to expend any spells to add the charges this way. No one can prepare more than 1 staff per day, nor can a staff be prepared by more than 1 person per day. If the charges aren't used within 24 hours, they're lost, and preparing the staff anew removes any charges you previously stored in it. You can prepare a staff only if you have at least one of the staff's spells on your spell list. And I think you guys...
So that raises an interesting question, which is it doesn't say, so I'd be curious to see what you think, Kev, how this would work, that you can't prepare a staff and then give that staff to somebody else to use.
No, but I think that's part of the attunement.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. But you can then, prepared spellcasters or spontaneous spellcasters can also add... you can expend 1 charge from the staff and 1 of your spell slots to cast a spell from the staff at the same level. This is for spontaneous casters. And prepared casters can dump basically spell slots into it.
Right.
When they prepare to increase the number of spell slots. So that's
it's a way of casting more spells out of the staff than you would normally by using your own spells. So.
Yeah. Well, that's what. But you do have to use a charge. So for spontaneous casters, you can expend a charge and 1 of your spell slots to cast a spell of the same level or lower as the expended spell slot. This doesn't change the number of actions it takes to gain the spell, blah, blah, blah. So, for instance, you could expend 1 charge and 1 of your 3rd level spell slots to cast a 3rd level spell from the staff, or 1 charge and 1 of her 2nd level slots to cast a 2nd level spell from the staff. So
Interesting.
I guess like the balancing factor there is that it expands the spell list of the spontaneous caster, and uses up the prepared. So I mean, do you
what it does is normally you have to spend a number of charges equal to the spell level to cast it.
Yeah.
So instead, you can spend one spell and a third level slot in order to cast that third level
Right,
spell
but-
without using 3 charges.
But the thing is, you don't even. It has to be on your spell list, not one of the spells you know.
Yep.
That's the big advantage there. I think is that it's you're using your staff, and it's able. That's one of the only ways you can expand the amount of spells you can actually use your spell slots to cast.
Right. That makes sense.
So I take it you have Produce Flame and Burning Hands on your spell list.
I know both of them actually.
Fantastic. Okay,
They're,
so
they're elemental bloodline spells.
nice. Okay, so you are you got yourself that staff prepared for the day. So what do you guys wish to do? I mean, like right now, to help you make up your mind as to what to do is, I mean, normally the town is not all that busy. One thing you might want to do is you got all that coinage that you brought back from the troll cave. You don't need to change that over. Actually, I was going to say, none of that was gems or anything, was it?
No gems. I mean,
because there is a money changer in town named HHR Huff and Puff who will, it's a 10% charge for him to change, like, jewels or art or things like that into cash.
I'm not seeing it. It might have been a day that I wasn't here when the amounts were.
I think everyone's got 10. Anyone who went to the troll cave and came back has 10 GP now, or an additional 10 GP.
Okay, so that makes sense. So what I have is that we had gotten 60 GP total.
Okay.
And then divvied up. Makes sense. And so the rest of it was, the staff, the talisman, the elixir, the potion, the arrow, the staff, and the rune stone.
That's right. Yeah.
So nothing, no gems or other works of art or anything that we need to transfer, and no small coinage or anything.
Yeah. So, Buka, you don't have any feats that change your gather. You don't have. I guess like the only feat I can think of is Streetwise. You don't have Streetwise, do you?
I might actually, because I think I'm a. Oops. I don't know if it. What do I have? Skills.
It wouldn't be skills. It's a feat. What it does is it allows you society instead of diplomacy. If not, just go. Why don't you go ahead and give me a diplomacy check? Let's see how that goes.
Okay. The only thing I have that could be along those lines is the. Well, I have experienced smuggler and underworld lore.
Yeah, experienced smuggler. That's a feat.
Yeah, it's a skill.
Yeah, it allows you to hide stuff.
Yeah, it's concealing stuff on you. It's not okay. Well, that's fine. Why don't you go ahead and give us a diplomacy check and see how that goes. See how your asking around goes. Not bad. Okay, so I don't. Oh, where's my shit?
Roll because I'm not very good at diplomacy.
Nice. Hey, stupid!
You're better
Where
than
do I
me.
find? Okay, sorry, I forgot my DM screen's in the other room. So I'm just gonna...
Yeah, I guess I have underworld lore if we need to get bad stuff.
Yeah,
I can help with that too.
Yeah.
I
bunch of reprobates.
That's right.
We are.
And I
think I took as my background was a former slave, escaped slave. So
that's cool. I mean, it's terrible, but
he got away.
but it's good that you got away.
Yeah.
Zuko happened to be a slave, but he didn't identify as one. He was a field medic.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
My character is so weak that I can barely carry anything, and one of the errata items is the fact that the Adventurers Pack is 1 bulk instead of 2, and now I can have it. So I'm going to spend my money to buy an Adventurers Pack.
Nice. Okay, so what, Buka, I think that you do actually manage to track down someone who, they think that, Hendon would know how to make that kind of stuff.
Okay.
If you spoke to...
Unfortunately, Hendon is sick, but getting better.
Yeah,
Hendon is sick. You know, the other one, if he was here, Valeron. Valeron is an elf in town. He kind of comes and goes. If you talk to Valeron, I think that the Thornswild Elves do something like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
So let's.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, and let me. I'm gonna use my little chart here, and let's see if Valeron is in the Brazen Strumpet today. Because that, if so, you can just go talk to him.
Yeah. So
You said that it's the same kind of
you want
chart
to
as
make an
Forbidden Cavern?
excursion out into the Barrowmore? We're not the fighting types.
No, we're not the healing type either.
Yeah. So
Well,
Valeron's.
we got some healing, but
Oh, that's true. Yes, that's true.
I have lots of
Very
healing,
minimal.
just not the good finger healing stuff.
yeah, I basically got like I make you something like a cocktail, a little tonic, and you feel better.
George, you were gonna ask something?
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Did you say they have that same kind of chart in Forbidden Caverns, Rakea?
They do. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I think so. Let me double check.
I've got it right here. I've got a ridiculous number of game books stacked.
Yeah, that's. I'm fairly certain there's a similar. It's because it's just for. It's a fun organic way of determining. Yeah, here it is. Page 256.
Cool.
Yeah, the Labyrinth Lord one. Yeah, it's great because it gives you a nice way of like randomly adding a little bit of changing setting stuff without having to track that yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, I think Buka has gone and asked around a little bit about, is there any other way to kind of get ourselves through there? Like, how does anyone else navigate this thing? And what you're hearing, Buka, from Tacey, from the chattiest of the barmaids, is that the Hendon apparently, like, he's really the only one. No one goes into the out into the snows. At this time of year, you don't go out there unless you absolutely have to. By out there I mean like outside. No one in their right mind goes into the Barrowmoor at this time of year. But
Well, we're not the most righted mind, I guess. The
No.
three of us.
Yeah.
We're all delving strange stuff anyway.
yeah. So the
We tip all right.
you tip very, very well, Buka, and that's always appreciated. But I think if you talk to Valeron, I haven't seen him in a couple of days, and it may be actually a couple of weeks now that I think of it. But
Maybe elves hibernate.
they're not the most, at least the ones in the Thornswild. They're not the most. They're not the most sociable, but Valeron's nice though. I'm sure if you talk to him, he could. He may be able to help you.
Great.
So, what about Zuko and Bargle? So that's what Buko's been asking around for a little while. It doesn't take all that long because I think at this point everyone's sort of waiting to see what's going to happen to Hendon. Hendon is such a prominent part of the community here. So you guys are sitting around and Baldo's like, boy, there's nothing worse than the waiting, is there?
Yeah, and there's nothing to do in this town.
Because everybody would know who did it.
That's even worse. So I guess he knows that eventually that we're gonna head out to this frog cemetery breeding ground place. So
Who
considering
does? Sorry.
the fact that
Are you talking about Bargle in the third person, or are you talking about Baldo?
Bargo,
Bargle, okay, yeah.
yeah, sorry, that he has because Cersei Vane has not gone off the prey, which is, I guess, a valid way to get information. He's gonna go and actually. Are there any places in town where they're like kind of lore master is a strong word. I mean, people who know things about the Barrowmoor, like people who might know about the natural or unnatural order of like the froglings and the mother of toads, or any kind of lore in that kind of realm.
That would Ballo says, that would be Hendon.
Okay, got it.
Though there are, I think so. There was, at least last season, there was a sage at Ironguard Motte.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's going to. I'm assuming. So this is Kev talking. I'm assuming that you have not told Ballo or anyone else in town about Sir Yvain's vision yet.
No, I didn't want to. I wanted Sir Yvain to be the one to talk about it if he wanted to reveal it. So far we haven't thought.
Okay.
I don't think it's been wise yet to reveal. But if we run into dead ends, I'm kind of having this conversation with Zuko. I think if we run into dead ends, perhaps then we do need to kind of reveal what we discovered and what Sir Yvain saw, because we need to have. I mean, we're heading to the Barrowmaze, obviously the most dangerous time of the year. Not to mention the fact that it's becoming increasingly dangerous with the corruption of these guardian barrows.
Yeah.
So we should be as armed as we can with lore before we head out there the next time. So if we can try to figure some things out before we go out on the next expedition, I think that would be valuable to make sure we come back alive.
If it's more information that you seek, as you can tell, no one, the mercenaries who come in and the hirelings tend to not make their way out to Helix. At best, they stay at Ironguard Motte and then just travel if they will. It's easier to go from there, and more lucrative to go from there to elsewhere, to Threshold, to Highfell. It's actually not called Highfell. I can't remember what the name of the town is.
And is the journey from Helix to Ironguard Motte, is that a dangerous journey in particular, or is it just kind of you're on a road and you're there's potential problems, but not
at least it's so excuse me, it's never not it's never not dangerous safe. Yeah, unfortunately, traveling around here. However, it is on the road, so there is that. It's not through the moor. It doesn't cut through the moor or anything like that. So there's at least that.
Okay. So that might be a potential option.
Thatcham is the other town I was thinking of.
Okay. And how long of a journey is it from Helix to Ironguard Motte?
From Helix to Ironguard Motte is, I believe, it's about
1,
a day.
2, looks like 3 hexes.
Yeah, like it's only 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's really going along the road. You could do it in a day, easy.
Day to get there, or a round trip?
A day to get there.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, no. Well, let me phrase that. It's so you can generally speaking, like absent any kind of other conditions, you can travel about 24 miles per day. So you
quite make it all the way.
Yeah, you could make it there, and then it would be late afternoon by the time you got there.
Okay, so I would Zuko, I think we may want to consider going to Ironguard Motte if that's our only option, while Hendon is being healed, because maybe by the time we come back, he'll be able to talk to us. I don't know, but it's a possibility, and Sir Yvain may have discovered some divine, information.
Yeah.
Over how
you say that with great sarcasm, Bargle. Divine.
Yeah, it's mostly to annoy Sir Yvain, and I realize he's not here right now, so it's just for my own benefit.
Zuko appreciates it.
Yeah, but I pray to all of the gods equally, because I just don't want to piss off anybody.
Fire gods are
I got enough problems.
It's funny you say that, because I think that this is a non sequitur here, but the guy who played Bargle in the convention one shot, I think he's the one who made the reference to Benny from The Mummy.
Oh.
Specifically as the way he played it.
I had Benny on the mind too when he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too funny.
Yeah.
Clearly the character just screams that character.
Totally. Yes, for sure.
All right. So then so to get there, I mean, like I said, it'll be about a day's travel. There is the risk of it's going to be easier certainly to travel over land. Unless the weather turns on you, there is no chance of getting lost. So really, let me just look at the travel rules here.
We've got no one survival, I think, right? You guys do go.
No, Buka led you guys back after West.
Oh, that's right.
Zuko has a big 0 in survival.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So, but the fortunate thing is, what I was saying is that you don't actually need to make that survival roll. This is just a matter of getting there, and I'll let you push the random encounter amount or table down fairly low.
Can we rent horses?
Say again?
Can we rent horses or mounts?
I'm not sure you'd fit on a horse. It'd be way too big for you.
Ponies?
Well, we can. Well, he's a halfling. We could double up on one of them.
But
well, pony.
the thing is,
war
if there was a pony, yeah, like the way I interpret it is just that like it's not so much that you can't fit on one. It's that like your legs are not long enough to be able to spur the animal the way that it's been trained to go, right?
Okay.
If you had something that was trained for a child, then maybe. Do you have nature?
I do.
You do? Okay, so maybe. Well, I mean, what you could do is you could train a horse to be appropriate to to your as a downtime action
Cool.
for your size. I'd be fine with that. But it's just the reins, the saddle, everything would be set up for a much bigger person than you two guys. Bargle would have no problems.
Bargle always has problems.
I mean, there's that homeless guy and his dog, Mr. Paggins. And Alistair, the homeless guy, and Mr. Paggins. So if you could, get on Mr. Paggins' good side, you might be able to get that. Mr. Paggins, incidentally, is the pet of, the first henchman to die in this campaign.
Oh.
44 sessions ago, or whatever it was, 46 sessions ago.
That's amazing. Well, let me... Zuko, do you think... would you want to take this journey, or would you prefer other things?
Zuko's just going to be bored, so yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I don't want to stay here.
No.
You'll actually have a better chance of finding someone who knows that stuff, too, in Ironguard Motte. It's a bigger community.
Right.
Like Ironguard Motte, Helix has a population of 632. Ironguard Motte has a population of 1,638.
Great. So a lot more people with coins there.
Yeah. It's also close to Bogtown.
Yes, I see that.
I guess we're gonna go to Bogtown eventually.
Well, that's what Balo will tell you as well. Is that you were asking about sages. I mean, there is someone there's a seneschal that works for the Ironguard family, and her name. One second here. I just looked it up and then I kind of lost it. I'm a dummy. Her name's Runa. And Runa is apparently the seneschal for... I mean, she may be occupied because she's, busy with running that stuff, but she is quite learned and quite studious. She's proven to be an asset to the Duke. In addition, one of the things you guys may not be aware of, actually none of you guys I think are likely aware of, is that the Helix doesn't really have a town council or anything like that, or village council, and the reason is because it's Lord or Duke Ironguard's son, Krothos Ironguard. He's the one who purportedly runs this place, but why don't you guys, let's hear how much you've heard. Why don't you guys give me society checks, please?
All right.
Zuko listens a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Zuko knows nothing.
Zuko knows nothing. No, unfortunately, Bargle not so much.
Zuko has Goblin Lord.
Society for Buka?
I'm getting there.
Getting there, okay.
Slow to open. I keep accidentally closing it, and then it takes a long time to open.
Sure.
Yeah.
Society. There it is. Ooh, pretty good. But
go.
no prior roll.
Nice, really good. So what Buka? So all of you guys. I mean, Zuko, I think that you're not. This is sort of news to you. Like, okay. Bargle, you're aware that Helix is under the purview of Kel Ironguard's son, Krothos, and Krothos. What Buka, is that there are sort of two ways that the children of nobility can kind of go. They can strive to live up to the name or to escape the shadow, in which case they tend to be ambitious, and sometimes that also ties in with principled, so they can be both ambitious and principled people. Cal Ironguard is a good ruler, as far as things go. He's principled, he's honorable, he's fair. The other way that the children can go is that they are, they can grow up with that sense of entitlement and sense of, and that is unfortunately the way that Krothos seems to have gone, and it isn't helped by Buka. You know as well, his like aide is named, where is it here? Olus Blackfell. And between
that sounds like an evil name.
Yeah. It's Jack McEvil Guy. I do. That's one thing I mentioned it, I think, before, guys. I can't remember if we were online or not, but like it's one of the things I really, really love about Gillespie's work is like there's some really fun, like HHR Huff and Puff is a funny, reference. In Highfell, the one monster that really stuck out to me is these flying simians that are called luft baboons.
Oh, right. I did not know that. That's.
I love it so much. Oh god. And I think that there is an encounter with 99 luft baboons at one point.
Oh, that's great. Then you get to play the soundtrack.
Exactly. Well, and they're pretty awesome looking too. Like, yeah. Anyway, Jack McEvil Guy here, Olus Blackfell. He's basically like the Grima Wormtongue to Krothos, but Krothos is needed no like pushing to get in the direction of being a wastrel. From hearing about the stories of the different expeditions into the Barrowmaze, that the life of a henchman it's an incredibly dangerous activity. But you've heard, like Krothos, you've heard Buka is because and I think the way this was presented to you is on caravan travels. It's like one guy who was traveling out, maybe it was a woman who was missing part of her forearm. She had some vicious scars on her face, and her advice was do not hire on with him because he will outfit groups to go out with them and then basically sacrifice adventurers, sacrifice henchmen and stuff like that. Or he'll, steal from them. He's just a terrible little shit. That's what you've heard, Buka. But he is responsible for Helix and has been gone all winter.
Interesting.
So the reason that I mentioned that stuff is because...
like, gone back to Ironguard Motte?
Yeah, he's gone back to Ironguard Motte, so he'll be there. But what Ballo, if you guys are talking about going there, Ballo says, someone should really, the Duke should be aware that this is going on. Like this is unprecedented. If they're hunting this close, perhaps the Duke can do something.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That
yeah, because he's really going to believe someone who throws fire, someone who shoots fire, and a crazy wizard.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Well, it's also one thing that with a society roll that well too. What Ballo's suggesting is effectively kind of going over the sun's head, and that could have consequences.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zuko is very charismatic.
Zuko is?
Zuko's very charismatic.
So you would be good in a court setting? Is that what you're saying?
As long as I don't have to know stuff, I can talk a lot of bullshit, and I can make people feel good about themselves.
Right, but remember so let me just give you some insight into. Remember that the way that the second edition rules work, you can really only, even on a crit, you can only improve the condition twice, and you only get to do that once a day. So just mechanically, that's how you're you can work your skills as well. And like we talked about before too, is that like I don't. This is a sandbox setting. It's going to respond accordingly. And the thing that he's pointing out is that even if you talk to the Duke and you convince him, you do need to be mindful of the fact that that's stepping on the toes of the sun. And
well, what if we would find the sun and tell him this is going on?
Well, you seem to be the one who knows him the best. What do you think?
Who, me?
Yeah, well, Buka, you're the one who rolled the best for there, so you're the one who knows the truth about this kid, or at least what the rumors say, right?
Probably would, at best, do nothing. At worst, use this as some sort of scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
People think they can have an accident.
Like a hunting accident.
Yeah.
that there is like treason, right?
I think we go and we tell the Duke, and if that causes problems, we do the right thing and we
And behind
claim ignorance and blame it on somebody else.
Sir Yvain.
Duka has an idea.
Blame it on Sir Yvain.
Duka has an idea. We go there, see if the son is there, and if he is, we send him on a wild goose chase, and then inform the Duke while he's gone, so we can say he wasn't here when we got here. So
that's not a bad idea too. I mean, he may not be there. We don't know.
He might be there.
Yeah.
And
This idea.
He may be wasterling it up.
yeah, exactly. And Kev, did you say that Runa is in Ironguard Motte, or is she in Bogtown?
Runa is in Ironguard Motte.
Okay, good.
The other, though,
So-
I mean, if you are looking for, I mean, the rumor is, and you know this, Sparkle, just from the time you spent in Bogtown, the Mother of Toads is incredibly incredibly aware of all the goings on in the Barrowmore. You know, there's also I mean, it doesn't come for free. She's as all powerful, independent beings are. She's, you know.
Oh yeah, I think we found out she was the wisest and most dangerous woman in hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that my belief anyway is that she knows this information through supernatural means, not through networks of informants. Or maybe I have no idea.
I think that well, you rolled quite well in your occultism before. I think it's through supernatural is the expectation. Okay. It's not clear whether the Mother of Toads is human or hag or some other kind of thing, a spirit of the you know, Barrowmore. What you do know is that the Mother of Toads seems to have that no one can remember a time when she has not been a presence there. The oldest you know, dwarves who have, you know, made their way, who are exiled from the communities in the Moon Peaks, who made their way down to Bogtown or making their way as back alley, you know, robbers. The eldest of them still remembers a time when she was there.
And does she have any influence beyond her particular area? Like, does she, I don't mean like supernatural, but like, does she have followers, or can she extend her will into other places beyond the Barrowmore?
The rumor is that the name Mother of Toads comes because she sees through, you know, she has 1,000 eyes across the Barrowmore.
Okay. I'm asking, just to get an idea of why I'm asking, is just Bargle is obviously always concerned about people seeing what he's doing or watching him, so he's now that he knows there's a supernatural, you know, force out there that can see what he's doing under cover of darkness. He's not happy about that, especially when he's investigating her.
Yeah.
Someone always watches.
Yeah. I'm learning that the hard way. But you can't have two prices on your head. I guess you can. All right. So
they'll make a poster of you, and then we'll have to.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
To see how many.
In fact, I've seen a poster of me actually once.
I'm actually, that's the next thing I'm going to work on. I finished up that cover for another game.
Yeah,
so,
I saw that. It looks great.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I saw the picture again of the cover from another thing that you did, and I was like, man, I want to make a T-shirt out of that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're welcome to.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I'm just wondering what you thought about that.
No, of course,
that cover that you made just now too looked really neat.
Thanks.
To do like that too.
Well, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get some stuff printed up from.
And then a map of Tule T-shirt would be cool too, right?
Well, actually, the map of Tule. So for all you guys who played in the Tule campaign, like in either of them, everyone, what I want to get is my local printer. I want to get her to do a big, like, canvas proper map of this thing. And then send it out. You guys will all get copies because it'll be pretty cool. And then I'm undecided with the other things. I might do. I did before these fun little like postcards. You can do through Vistaprint. It's really cheap to get these things. I did a series of what do you call it? Of like pulp style covers for a Comic-Con I did a couple of years ago, and I had the like two, whatever it is, like 1.5 by 3 posters. But I also had these little postcards, And the postcards were amazing, like, and for that style of thing. So I might do that as well too, just to send out to you guys. But the wanted poster would be pretty cool. But otherwise,
That's
I mean, like, no, I'd go nuts.
So we Ironguard Motte and then on to Bogtown. Is that what the plan is? Then you think?
Oh, are you guys going to? Is that what you're planning?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll have to stay a night, I think, in Ironguard Motte. Based on what it looks like, it's even farther from Ironguard Motte to Bogtown than from Helix to Ironguard Motte.
1, 2, 3, and you do travel through some copse of trees. Bogtown's a little more, and crossing that Moorwash River, that's getting closer to Frogling territory than what Ironguard Motte is.
So we'll at least go to Ironguard Motte and then see what happens, and potentially go to Bogtown.
Yeah.
We should keep the group informed. Like, leave a message and send back a letter if we find anything.
Smart idea.
Yeah, give them our itinerary,
and anybody
flight plan. We'll give them our flight plan.
Okay. Anything else you wish to do in Helix before you head out?
No, just I guess reprovision, right? We need to.
Okay. So
although it's only a day. It's only like a day, right? Just.
Yeah, it's a day's journey.
But that's like 2 meals at least.
Well played.
At least.
We are an hour in. You guys have been role playing up a storm. Why don't you each take a hero point?
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
You know that means we're gonna need it.
Oh, I don't know.
As soon as you start heading out of town. I'm not complaining.
Here's your life preserver. What do you mean?
Yeah, right. What do we need a life preserver for? Like, you get on the boat and they go, here's your life preserver. You're like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah, before we leave, Zuko is going to heal everybody. Who wants healed?
Oh, do you have, renewable resource, or?
It's a spell.
I have,
Since I have that staff, I can use a spell without having to worry about it.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll take, I'm like at 2/3 of my health.
I'm going to do like a channel heal, so I heal all of us at the same time.
Okay.
Great.
So let's see how many spells will get used up here.
I'm going to use 1 second level spell.
Okay. Oh, nice. So that's 2d8 plus 16, then it heals, right?
It should just be 2d8.
No, 2d8. You're right. 2d. That's a 2-action version I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's see here.
So 7 to everybody.
7. Cool. Take it.
If you need more than that, too bad.
Well, I mean, I have at least 1 elixir of life, and I can shake up 2.
I've got 1 of those left.
Or I can shake you up a tonic.
And I'm actually trained in medicine, so that I can try to help.
So is Zuko, but I've had very bad luck with the halfling.
Yes.
Yes.
I keep forgetting to use my tools, and I have them.
Because we have multiple stomachs.
That's the problem. Yeah.
All right, so then the 3 of you guys get your stuff together. Unfortunately, there are no hirelings that are available this time of year, so it is just going to be the 3 of you going out. You were asking about renting the horses as well too. I was going to check and see.
Like a sled. I mean, like a horse and sled.
Or a little tiny wagon that he can pull behind him, and we can ride.
A reindeer and sled.
So it'll cost. Let's see here. Well, reindeer, no. Although that does sound pretty cool.
One of my players used to ride a yak.
That's awesome.
One of my games. Now he's a stone statue.
The 2 things that 2 games that I have, I'm not running it anytime soon, but I love that RuneQuest has Bison Riders, but even better, the Iron Kingdoms setting in the Iron Kingdoms role-playing game has. I can't remember what they're called. Long Riders.
The
Trollkin Long Riders. It's basically these blue troll, and I love the design of the Trollkin as well too. So these blue troll, descended things that ride around with these giant axes on the backs of bison. It is
that's such a cool world.
It really is.
I don't know.
Well, I didn't do photos of it last night, but it is one of the games I want to do in December. Guys, I'm winding up because people start being not available. I want to run a one-shot with that again because it's been about 3 years since I've run that game, and the setting itself is fucking great, and does the best job of incorporating firearms of any fantasy role-playing game I've ever run.
I agree. It's good. It's a neat world. We did both the Iron Kingdoms and we did like both, right?
Yeah.
It was like there's like the civilized and then the non-civilized.
Yeah.
Right.
When the I think it's Unleashed. Is that what it was called?
Unleashed.
Yeah.
Unleashed.
When Unleashed came out, that's sort of when the wheels came off our campaign, but it was fucking cool.
Yeah, people would rather. It's kind of, I guess, a party split. So people wanted to play Iron Kingdom, and then other people want to play Unleashed because in the war game they're like, well, we play
Hordes, yeah, or War Machine, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We play Unleashed and so they played those armies.
So here's the upside: is renting you can purchase a riding pony for 7 gold. You can purchase a riding horse for 8 gold. Or you can rent one for 1 silver piece per day for the riding horse, or 8 copper pieces per day for the riding pony.
Hugo feels if we buy them, we have to feed them and take care of them.
What I'm assuming is that during the downtime right now, in the summer, yes, that will be an ongoing problem when we're tracking days. But for now, I mean, in the wintertime, I'm assuming you guys are doing profession checks to earn some money to pay for your cost of living. So we're not going to bother rolling through that stuff. Like, well, if you do purchase animals, I'm assuming that it's,
That's part of the upkeep.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's happening in the background of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna practice my profession.
Sorry, what was that?
Okay, Carl.
Go ahead. I was just gonna buy one then. Since we
Okay.
Buy a pony.
Okay.
I don't have. I spent 7 silver out of my 10 gold on. It was only 7 silver actually for that backpack. So I do have enough gold remaining to purchase a riding horse.
I think I understand why Bargle has to steal all the time. His grasp of the cost of items is pretty poor. Well, I got this backpack, but there's also a horse.
He usually doesn't pay for anything.
Yeah.
So he doesn't.
So it's 7 silver for the pony?
It's 7 to rent
7 gold.
Yeah, 7 gold to purchase a riding pony, 8 gold to purchase a riding horse.
I can buy 2 elixirs of life with that.
Mm-hmm.
I can make you an elixir of life.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I'll get a pony too.
Okay.
I'll buy a horse.
Okay.
No, if it comes down to it, leaving the pony behind while I run away is a good investment in me not dying.
Yes.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
And people would think you're like that Wastrel, the Lord's son,
And
leaving your henchman behind.
could I buy a crossbow while in town, like a heavy one?
heavy crossbow? I think so, yeah.
Because if I have a horse, I have something to shift my heavy stuff on, so I can carry it without getting encumbered.
We got a pony.
A pony, yes,
Yeah.
but it's horse size for me.
Yeah, crossbow.
Sure, a pony can carry more than we can.
You know these horses are about to get killed, right?
Probably, but whatever.
Gotta do something with your gold.
Actually, when you are getting to the point where you will have actually more hit points than them, so there's that.
Right.
So that's good. It's not like when you're at first level and... Alright, your hirelings have more hit points. Okay, so the crossbow will be 3 gold, and then it's 1 silver piece for 10 bolts.
Is there a heavy crossbow?
Yes, heavy crossbow is 4 gold pieces and 1 silver piece. And the downside to the heavy crossbow...
Heavy. The wolf, I think.
Well, it's also got 2 reload.
Oh, so 1 shot and then...
Yeah.
How much is the reload for the light one?
Reload for a light crossbow is 1.
But I mean, that's still doable in a round with the action economy because you can do 2 actions to reload and 1 to fire.
But I'm a spellcaster. I want that extra 1.
Mm.
Yeah, I get that.
So what? Is it a normal crossbow just 1 action reload?
1 reload, yes.
That's why I got my eye on the haste spell for later.
Okay, I'll get a normal crossbow then.
Normal crossbow, okay.
So I'll spend 3 gold and 1 silver.
Sounds good.
Or
Okay.
2 silver. We'll get 20 bolts.
Okay. So you guys are now the proud owners of a small stable of ponies and riding horses. That's pretty good. I look forward to killing those. I mean, hearing the cool description of how great these things are.
Perfect.
I'm gonna name mine something that references like.
You should name him Elmer's.
I'm gonna name mine Prancer after the prancing pony.
Oh, I was gonna say Elmer's after Elmer's glue.
Jeez.
I found that after like a split second. I was like, no.
So, riding pony has 16 hit points, and the riding horse has 22 hit points.
Why do we need to
Curious.
know that, Kev?
Just
Important.
FYI. Oh my
Do
god.
they clock? Do they hoof bite?
They can fight. Yeah. So the way, let's just quickly, very quickly talk about. So
Yeah.
is it who is trained? I take it no one's got the mount feat, right?
No.
Okay.
It's
So that means.
debated taking it, but
Okay. So then what that means is that on if you're going to control your animal in any way, you do need to spend an action doing that, and it's a nature check. It's a fairly low. I think it's only like DC 10 to control it, so it's pretty low target number. But then you have to split your actions between yourself and your mount. So if you want your mount to attack, those actions take up your actions.
That's cool.
A pony is level 0. A horse is level 1, just to give you a sense of how kind of powerful they are in comparison to you guys. You guys are much more competent combatants than what your mounts are.
I've picked a name.
You got a name? Yeah, what's that?
Charcoal.
Charcoal. Love it. That's
Nice.
great.
Mine is Nightmare.
Nightmare. Nice.
Mine is just Prancer.
Prancer. He's so pretty. Okay, so Prancer and Cinder, is that right?
Charcoal.
What? Charcoal. I think you said Sparkle. I'm like, what?
That's a different game.
Okay, so Prancer.
No,
I'm so busy being a smartass that I'm
Jonathan wants to play My Little Pony Pathfinder.
I know, yeah.
that's exactly.
No.
Pony Finder.
Actually, yeah, there is a pony finder, so I've not gone anywhere near that.
No. Okay, so the let's see. So that means you guys are free to set out on the road to Bogtown, or into Bogtown to Ironguard Motte. I think what I'll do too is you've been talking to Balo about this, right?
Yeah.
Well, he says, "Well, did you think of talking to Billworth Turgan?"
Who is he?
Well, Bill's the one who runs the Silver Standard Merchant Caravan Company.
Mm-hmm.
They're the supply depot for the Silver Standard Merchant Caravan Company in Helix. The company runs a route that exchanges between all the different communities in the Duchy as well as beyond. If you're planning on going to Ironguard Motte anyway, you might want to speak to him and see if he may have some mail that he'd be happy to pay you to deliver.
Yeah, sure. Get paid to go.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would be like
So
a regular Pony Express.
Exactly.
So he's also based in Ironguard Motte.
He's here in Helix.
He's here.
So
Okay.
the Silver Standard Merchant Caravan Company is located at number 5.
Got it. Okay.
And there's also a place called Turgan's Trade Goods. And that's number 2.
Okay, cool. So before we head out, I guess we will stop by.
Yeah, stop by and see if
he's there.
be
Sure.
good citizens of Helix, even though we're murder hobos.
So
That has not been proven yet.
you guys
Yeah, we
make
haven't
your way.
kicked down any doors.
Yeah.
It's been running a lot in the snow.
Right.
So let's we'll pick up the scene of you going over to the Turgan's Trade Goods, and you all kind of walk in, and I think that you've all purchased stuff from him before, so he's likely familiar with who you are, and he has kind of a big bushy beard. He's got the way I think I described him before is not Michael Gambon. What's his name? Who's the guy who plays the ringleader or whatever else in Moulin Rouge?
Oh, yeah, famous British actor. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like that's his most flamboyant role, but
Yeah.
I'll look it up afterwards. That's sort of the like energy that we've been talking about with Turgan. Turgan is like a consummate salesman. So you guys walk in,
Cool.
and he says, "You're in." So customers on such a cold day. So good to see you. Oh, and customers who look to be going somewhere. You're not. Where are you heading? So are you back into the Barrowmaze again, or into the Barrow Moor?
No.
I heard you went.
Dangerous right there.
You went and rescued Hendon's son, didn't you?
That's
Barlow
us.
did.
Yeah.
Ah, quite brave of you, and to all come back in one piece too. Truly, you're either lucky or you're capable, or a combination of the two.
Zuko like randomly scratches at his chest and pulls down his tunic a little bit, reveal one of the puncture marks from the wyvern's tail. He's like,
Hi, Darwin.
almost in all one piece.
He says hello.
Okay, so he looks. He says, you've seen trouble as well, my little friend.
Yes, Wyvern tried to kill me.
Say, you're not the lucky goblin. You're the one who sings, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Quite the show you put on the other night. Quite the show.
Yeah, brighten up another one for next time. Maybe it was my song that kept us alive.
Ah. So you're the one to thank for getting back safely. Perhaps we have 2 lucky goblins here.
Maybe.
What brings you to my fine establishment? You need more supplies? More supplies for the Barrowmaze?
Well, we're actually heading east for a brief mission, and Ironguard Motte. We figured if we're going that way, you might have something to send that way, and we can bring back, or no?
You're traveling
2 birds, 1 stone.
You're traveling to Ironguard Motte?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. If you were able to venture out into the snowy moors and come back safely, then surely you will safely be able to make it to Ironguard Motte. Is that your ultimate destination, or are you planning on returning to our fine community after?
Well, we have friends here, so not going to be gone long.
Good friends indeed, then. Then perhaps if you could speak to, and he doesn't pause, it's because I just need to look at the name.
We can leave this guy our flight plan too.
Nice. Here's our itinerary. We had it printed. I'll text it to you.
Hopefully they remember.
If you speak to... Coretta or Garrick Barrelhouse. Oh, sorry, no, Bandrick Ironstone. That's who you need to talk to. Bandrick Ironstone at the Silver Standard Merchant Company in Ironguard Motte. The others are competitors. Don't deal with them. Bandrick Ironstone. Speak to him in Ironguard Motte, and if you deliver the packages to him, then he has anything from me. I'll pay you on return as well, and he will pay you
good.
when you arrive.
Very nice.
Excellent.
But for such a journey, surely you need other things as well. Yes?
Food.
Food?
Oh, what?
Do you have any pickling back there?
We may have some pickles as well too, fresh in from from a distant Darrican. In fact,
Some Wickles, winter pickles.
Oh, and if you intended go, can I interest you perhaps in a 10-foot pole?
Maybe the human, but it's like really big.
We would be better served with a 5-foot pole, or maybe a 7.5.
5-foot pole. Who ever heard such a thing? I thought you were experts.
You take a 10-foot pole and you break it exactly in half, and you have 2 5-foot poles. And then, if you are a merchant,
and then I could
then
charge
you could
for
sell
both
at the same price as a 10-foot pole.
You little one, you truly have a mind for business.
Specifically for small folk like my companion Zuko and I.
I see. Clever.
Good marketing.
Clever. Then, can I interest you in a fully assembled 2 5-foot poles?
No, Zuko holds up his head. He's like, I've got a pole.
I see. And the rest of you, anything else you need?
I suddenly said, like, I'm not stealing anything. I mean, I'm good. I'm okay.
You.
Don't mind him. He's a little twitchy.
I see. Well, to have gone through what you lot have gone through, I don't doubt that I would be finding myself the same way too. Ha! Now, wine perhaps? Wine for the road? Whiskey?
I think I'm a little short on funds.
Yeah.
If you wanted to donate any, though, we'd be more than happy to take them off your hands.
Zuko pulls out a gold piece. He's like, I got 1 gold piece for what will you give me?
Truly, your nerves must be getting to you, young man, because you seem to have thought that you've walked into a house of worship. There is no charity to be had here. This is a business.
Well, I understand.
Zuko says, I got 1 gold. What will it buy me?
1 gold. What would strike your fancy, little goblin?
Whatever alcohol you have that's good.
Oh, I see. Well, perhaps I can interest you in some lovely Galantrian brandy.
Okay, how much can I get for 1 gold?
It depends on how refined your palate is, and judging from your the cut of your jib, young man, I see that you have refined tastes. 1 gold will get you 1 bottle of the finest Galantrian brandy.
Okay.
So he gets you this lovely bottle. It's actually in a wooden crate. He opens it up for you with kind of great flourish of, you see? Here. Closes it and hands it off to you. This will truly keep you warm on the you, and if you are so generous as to share it with your companions, assuming they're not teetotalers, of course, that they will truly keep you warm on the road. It's said that they've even kissed it with a hint of elemental fire.
We got some of that.
Zuko's eyes sparkle is like, yes.
Yeah, he's got your number.
It's like,
Yes, he does. You see, his eyes are sparkling, and Bill's eyes are just sparkling as well too.
And I say, so speaking of business, did you say how much you were going to recompense us for our efforts to deliver and pick up packages?
Oh, we didn't talk about that. Huh? It must have slipped my mind.
I'm sure it did.
Well, it's 1 day's travel to deliver there, but there is going to be some skilled activity. I think 5 silver per each.
5 silver for each of us for the way there. How much for to return with the packages?
5 silver as well too.
So 1 gold total.
If
each of us.
Yes,
if they have a package to deliver to you.
That is correct, yes.
Cool.
If you speak to Bandrick, if Bandrick has anything to bring back, then yes. I have small things. This winter has been with the call of all the men up to Threshold to fight the giants, and what person in their right mind thinks that they'll be able to survive to spend whatever money they'll earn fighting giants? With them gone, and then the end of the season, it's just been... There's not been many packages being sent back. Except for this one wizard.
Oh, really?
Yes. Are you acquainted with Vax Silver Scroll?
What if I was?
Oh. Then you must thank him for his correspondence represents more than half of the outgoing mail.
Do I know anything about
Vax is actually James's character in the campaign. But James has not been able to play for he hasn't been able to play this for close to a year. No, that's not true.
Wow.
About 8 months or 9 months now. But we were joking in chat that his character was just sitting in his room doing nothing all this time.
Just writing letters to people.
Yeah, so that's what Vax has been doing. Is Vax has been voluminous correspondence with other people outside of the duchy.
Well, I'm going to make a note of the name, and I'm going to try to locate him, because it's always good to meet a fellow wizard who might want to share spells.
I think you've actually heard, like, you've heard tell. There's this guy who's, like, sort of comes out of his room, you know, gets some food, you know, the odd time gets drinks. You maybe run into him as he goes to the privy. But otherwise, he seems to be spending all his time in the room.
And here in Helix?
Here in Helix, at the Brazen Strumpet as well, too.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll interact with him. I'll interact with him when I get back.
Yeah, well, he's actually got that kind of 1,000-yard stare, you know, right now, where he if from what I recall, I think the last time that James was able to play him was actually when Sir Albus died.
Oh, okay. Well, that would explain things.
Yeah, so he may have James could correct me on that. I'm not sure if James is still in chat. James, if I have that right or have that wrong, let me know. But yeah, that's the vast majority of the correspondence that's heading out. Anything else you want to do?
I think that's enough for now, and I don't want it to get, waste too much time, and there's not as much light at this time of year, so it'd be best to travel during the daylight hours.
Yeah, other than just leave a note for the rest of the group at the end for the tavern and let them know where we went.
Okay. And, well then, so there is nothing else you want to do in town before you head out?
Not that unless I'm okay. You guys are good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm now. I'm getting antsy. I want to get on the road and get to Ironguard Motte.
Okay. So, let's do this, guys. Why don't you... Well, be your... actually, the DC for this is going to be quite low because you're on your horses, because you're on the road. So why don't you each give me a fortitude check, please? Let's just see how heavily this weighs on you as you're making your way there.
I was very nervous on a horse.
Whoa, Bargle, what the hell? That Galantry and Brandy is... Whoo!
That's exactly. Like,
wait a minute, I haven't shared yet.
Holy shit, Buka. Yowza. All right. So yeah, this is... Now, it is a question, however, of random encounters.
So, I mean, in general... Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you keep going.
In general, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, in general, if the same kind of exploration sort of mini game rules that you sort of devised are in play while we're doing this journey, I think I would at least be keeping a lookout.
Yeah, I've assumed that you guys
might be accounting for that. Yeah,
because no one needs to make a what do you call it? No one needs to make a survival, like a survival skill roll or anything like that. No one's making a primary thing to make sure you're getting the right direction. It's really just a matter of like there's a certain length of time you traveled, so it's just it's traveling through the wilderness is where it gets into an actual challenge.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you really have to work hard to get yourself lost on the road.
Well, you say that.
Yeah.
If you made us make survival checks, we might actually critically fail.
So the trip to Ironguard Motte is uneventful, and you guys reach there by late afternoon. The weather is cold, but manageable. Now, and you guys have the distinction of being the first party to actually go to Ironguard Motte.
Really?
Yep. We are now. This is session 10 of our second, second sort of chapter of the Barrowmaze campaign. First one went 35, so it's 45 sessions, and you're the first party to get there.
Awesome.
All right. I shouldn't say to get there, to go there. No one else has attempted. So that's great. Okay, and let's see what we can tell here. Ironguard Motte. Oh, what was that guy? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Ironguard Motte is the largest populated town in the region. It refers both to the Ironguard noble family and their Motte and Bailey castle that serves as the town's primary fortification. The town proper is encircled by a wooden palisade, although many farms and other structures are located in the immediate countryside. The Ironguards employ a force of men-at-arms that both protect the castle and serve as law enforcement. As the largest town and center of trade in the region, Ironguard Motte offers all services available in Helix, in addition to specialized service that include an armorer, a weaponsmith, temples to St. Yig and Crom, and a shrine to Arcantril. It also has a larger jeweler and moneylender that can offer a better discount, a better deal on trading in. The Silver Standard Merchant Caravan Company is also centered here and conducts weekly trips to Helix and Bogtown. It's also the seat of political power in Duchy. And I think from your role from before too, Buka, what you can tell about the Ironguards, as far as like the other noble families in the region, in the northern reaches, they're kind of thought as like latecomers to it. If you think of like the Onion Knight in Game of Thrones, or like the what was their house called? The Hound and the Mountain. Whatever their family was called.
Yeah.
In that where they're relatively like nouveau, not riche, but like nouveau nobility. So yeah, that's the
Clegane.
Clegane, right.
Yeah, Clegane.
Yeah. Okay, so the so you guys are reach here, and I mean each of you would have traveled through Ironguard Motte on the way to Helix in the first place. Let me get you guys. Oh, that's what happens. You suddenly get to be nothing but bars. Let me do this.
Oh no.
We'll use our traditional... Boom. Travel token has traditionally been Badonk. So there we go. Badonk is actually, I think, the first character for this campaign, too.
Oh, that's cool.
First Pathfinder 2nd edition character we made. Yeah. In this. Oh, and the reason Jeff has given us up on Wednesdays for the time being, for a very good reason, because that is the only time that his town's D&D group can meet.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, so they had to shift it from elsewhere in a week, so good reason for it. But Jeff, you are still thought of. So
Yes.
he'll be back on Friday. But so you guys make it to Ironguard Motte, and as you guys are going in, you can see that there is a much larger shrine or temple here to Saint Yig. There is a smaller temple to Crom, and Crom is kind of like the god of war and battle. The Northmen seem to really like him. And there's also a shrine to Arcantrell, your paladin or champion's, your friend, his god. The shrine is really modest in comparison to the other two temples, and it does, however, look like there is a temple under construction though. So, in terms of places to stay, there are two. There is a tavern called the Bloated Halfling, and there's one called the Leaky Barrel.
The Leaky Barrel.
The Leaky Barrel or the Bloated Halfling?
I'm not sure I like the name, the Bloated Halfling. That sounds like a halfling, a dead halfling.
Zuko likes the name.
It's strange that you're not thinking of it as being like several of your stomachs being full.
No, I like belly or face down in the pool of water.
That's interesting where your mind goes, Buka.
Yeah, the Barrowmaze is clearly weighing heavily on Buka.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
well, the first thing that we have to do on the way in is make sure there's no wanted posters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, any wanted posters?
Bargle, why don't you give me a, let's see here, I think that's a society check. Actually, no, a diplomacy, please.
Well, I'm just looking around to see if there's, like, wanted posters put up with my face on it.
Okay, so you maybe go to the bounty board.
Yeah.
And, let's see.
Like, I don't want to talk to anybody, because yet I want to make sure my face isn't plastered over all over.
Give me a deception check. Let's see this.
Deception, all right.
So you go up, you pull your hood up, you're kind of like looking around.
Yeah, and I'm pretending I'm not really looking, and then I'm checking as fast as I can.
Sure.
Okay, 19.
Okay. So you're looking through the various, things that are on there. You see a bunch of different names that are on there. Yours is not among it.
Okay.
But at this point, you've looked through maybe, I don't know. That's not true. You've probably gone through as many of them as you can. The thing is, it's not the Duke that wants you. It's the Shadow Hands.
Right.
And the Shadow Hands are the Thieves Guild base out of Bogtown.
Yeah, so it's likely they wouldn't actually put up an actual wanted poster.
Yeah.
So, but at least I know it hasn't crossed over into legitimate society.
Yeah.
So that's one good thing. I'll take it. So I kind of, well, I guess I'll keep my hood up for now, just in case there's any member of the Shadow. Do I know if the Shadow Hands have a, operate in Ironguard Motte, or are known to operate in Ironguard Motte?
You've got Underworld Lore as a skill, right?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll. Let's see.
All right. Here we go. Ooh.
Yeah, and so not only do you know that, I think with a roll that good, because that's a crit success, I think you know that there is a smaller and seedier tavern here called the Black Dragon. And the Black Dragon is a front for the Shadow Hands.
Mm-hmm.
A guy named Umlar is the barkeep there.
Uh-huh. Good to know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna avoid that like the plague.
Okay.
Okay. That was my first. That's the first thing I was checking.
Okay.
So I don't know what Buka and Zuko want to be doing.
You can picture it. It's much busier here too than. Go ahead, Carl. Sorry, I was talking over you.
For our package,
You can deliver. Yeah, you want to deliver the packages to.
Before we get into any trouble, we should do that.
Okay. Right. So you head over to the Silver Standard Merchant Caravan headquarters, and this is set. It's a much more impressive building than the two-story affair that you saw in Helix. It's got the same sigil that mark or the company's bit markings on it. It has the ducal the markings that suggest that it has the ducal blessing of the Ironguard family on it, and the Ironguard crest. Looks like this, guys. I think it might be in the document I sent you, but that's the Ironguard crest.
Cool.
And you head in, and let's see here. Bandrick Ironstone is a very tall, bald, or like cropped, not bald, but like hair cropped really short human who stands probably about like 6'4". He looks like he might have been. He's one of those guys he looks strong but not cut. He's got rangy kind of long arms. He's walks with a bit of a hunch, and he's just got the look of someone with a rough kind of life. Though he is wearing fairly nice clothing, and he's talking to a pair of what looks like merchants when they came in. You know who to look for because he's the best dressed guy in town. There's probably some clerks and porters and stuff like that that are making their way around in here as well too. And this guy, once he's finished reaming out these two merchants about something, he looks over at you guys. And in the film version of this, he's played by former footballer Vinnie Jones.
Uh-huh.
So he looks down at you guys and says, "All right, what have you got?"
Back up.
Special delivery.
Deliveries around the side. You know that, right? No, you don't know that. Because you don't look like caravan. You don't look like couriers to me, and you don't look like... I'm fucking slipping into, what's his name? What's my hobbit called?
Yeah.
Rufus Burrows.
Rufus Burrows, yeah.
Fucking lapsing into that. So he says, you don't look like merchants, and you don't look like... I am. It's full-on fucking Rufus, so you're going to have to deal with it now.
I'll just go with it, yeah.
He's got a West Country accent.
Yeah.
You don't look like merchants to me, and you don't look like your couriers neither. So why don't you tell me what you're here for, then?
It's our first delivery from Helix, so forgive us, and I set something on the counter.
Yeah, we present the packages.
Yeah, Billworth Turgon sent us. He said to give it to you directly.
Billworth Turgon sent you here.
Yes, that's the guy.
Why didn't you say that before?
Because you're so big and scary.
I literally stopped having a heart attack.
All right. How are the roads then? How's the roads in from Helix?
Seems clear.
Quiet, clear, good enough.
Well, that's not bad. And how's life in Helix then?
Well, complicated.
Complicated? That doesn't sound good.
Barrowmaze's acting up.
The Barrowmaze's acting up?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean the Barrowmaze's acting up?
Well, Bargle knows.
Bargle.
Oh, yes. Well,
wait, your name is Bargle.
Technically,
Could you give me another? Actually, I'm gonna get. What's your deception bonus?
my deception bonus, I think, is 9. Let me check though.
It's
6. It's 6.
You didn't tell me we were hiding our names.
You want to see some good news?
Yeah. Oh, that's not good news.
No, that's you.
Oh, that's me. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's you.
Great
I'm
news.
rolling a secret
I thought you
roll
were
for
rolling
you.
against my.
That was too good. No.
Okay, that is good news.
Yeah.
Very good.
I was actually thinking about that, because again, I'm a fucking nerd, and this is all I think about is rolling. But I was thinking about it the other day when I was driving, and I think that because of the way the whole thing is set up of contesting, whenever possible, I'm always going to have you guys roll, because that way then you guys get a chance to engage the hero points.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true,
your
right.
way of controlling kind of the narrative. So
Yeah.
Like, did I say Bargle? I meant Garg.
So
Exactly.
Bargle, what is it? You apparently are a performance or a pressure performer What is it that what like baffling bullshit do you spin to get yourself out of trouble with, not trouble, but like to get yourself out of any possibility of trouble with Bandrick?
Yeah, so I say, I'm not surprised you mentioned that. I've been having a lot of trouble. There's some guy, guest with a similar name, who's been out going off doing all kinds of, I'll just call them criminal activities.
A bandit?
I'm a bandit, but as you can see, I'm a wizard by my robes, and I have the spell pouch here, and there's a spell book. I can show it to you if you want to see it in my backpack here, which I can barely carry. So, but I'm trying to find this guy. So if you see him, let me know, because I got some words for this gentleman. But thanks for being on the lookout.
Huh.
Glad to know there's good men like you who are trying to hunt down these evildoers.
Oh, that's none of my business.
But anyway,
and he pats the caravan or the things. This is my business.
Well, and we appreciate being part of your business, at least for today.
All right.
So thank you for that.
Thank you for bringing this out in this cold.
And do you have anything that you need delivered back to Billworth?
Oh, Carl, you might be muted. Anything back? Oh, of course.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say... Oh, go ahead. Bargle was talking. Bargle, you were talking.
I just asked him if he had anything for Billworth.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to ask him which tavern he recommends. The Drowning Halfling or the other one?
Bloated Halfling. Bloated Halfling.
Your mind is really in a different place.
The Bloated Halfling and the Leaky Barrel.
Yeah. Leaky Barrel's funny, just out of character, because it's a...
There's also the Black Dragon, too. Though, you don't want to be mistaken...
That sounds wonderful. I look at Bargle with big eyes.
Do you... it seems a little expensive.
No, so which one would you recommend?
Well, it depends what you're looking for. Are you just spending the night in town and then heading back, or are you going to be spending time in the Motte?
We don't know yet. We might catch the sights, see the, all the landmarks here in town.
The sights? The landmarks? That'll be a short tour. There must many things.
We are short, as you have noticed.
Well played, little one. Well played. Well, if you want to, you're welcome to stay at your namesake. Hammock Archies runs that, and he's a halfling. It's named after him. So he'll have rooms accommodating to your size and to your size as well there, Zuko. Or little one.
He's the bloated halfling?
He's the bloated halfling, and wait till you see him. Man's as round as he is tall.
Well, this I got to see then.
Aye.
And do they have accommodations for more human size?
Oh yes, they have for both. They just
Very good.
have made a careful use of the space to accommodate for halfling-sized and goblin, for that matter, sized accommodations. Now the Black Dragon, if you're looking for something a little more exciting, that's what I might suggest.
Oh, good
if
to
you
know.
enjoy a little bit of dice, perhaps, a little bit of cockfighting, perhaps, that's a little something to try out, though you're going to want to keep an eye on your coin purse when you're there.
Yes, I've heard of such establishments. I would not be caught dead in one.
Your namesake might.
Well, that's a good point, and this is why we got to fix this problem.
Those are things we should go there.
Don't you worry, my friend wizard. I'll be keeping an eye out for that Bargle. And when that tricky bandit, that rogue of a man named Bargle makes his way around here, I'll be sure to catch him.
Bargle is very worried now. He's made a huge mistake.
Bandits are the bane of my business. Say,
True. Well, hey, if you ever need anyone to hire on to help guard,
guard. Well, the wizard comes quite pricey, and things have been bad. The We've had a group of bandits raiding out of the Blackened Forest over the last season.
Really?
Oh, and the froglings are acting up. I don't know what's got in the water out there, but the froglings have been trouble since the midsummer.
Really?
Even in winter, they're still active?
Which has been still active?
Well, I figured the bandits got to eat, but the froglings, it's cold for them.
No, the froglings, there's so few caravans heading out towards Helix at this time. No one out there's buying nothing, so why would we be sending anything out that direction? Cool. But once spring comes, I'll tell you. Spring comes, you start harvesting that silk from the Blackened Forest, lumber coming out, and then last 2 seasons we've been seeing more and more people, fools, heading out there trying to find their way into that dungeon and think they're going to steal their riches. Dead's what's going to get them.
Which dungeon would that be?
The Barrowmaze. You can't have
the Barrowmaze. Yes,
Helix and not known about the Barrowmaze.
Oh no, we have been in the Barrowmoor and we are aware of the Barrowmaze, but I thought you might be speaking of something within the Blackened Forest itself.
Well, I'll tell you.
So does the Lord of the Motte get out much? Walk around town?
The Lord, no, which one? You mean Lord Duke Kell?
Yes.
Duke Ironguard. He gets out every now and then. This time of year, though, he's getting on in age. He spends more time inside than he does out here. Although, you want to find his offspring, you'll find him at the Black Dragon, I suspect.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Well, do you have any packages you need delivered back to Billworth?
I do. Though you're forgetting the most important part, Bargle.
Which is?
You want to get paid, don't you?
Yes, I'm just such a charitable type of person that I don't even think about. I don't think about money.
You're clearly new to this line of work.
Like I said, we knew.
we were just letting you talk, man. It was good.
Well,
Good to know the land, make conversation.
Now I imagine if I know Bill, and I know Bill, he's agreed to pay you 3 silver pieces apiece. Is that right?
No.
Well, actually, 5 silver he had promised us.
5 silver?
Direction.
I thought it was 6.
Gory's loose with his money.
Well, I think he felt comfortable with our ability to deliver these goods, packages at least, without incident.
Buka, you can tell he's lying.
About 3?
When he said about 3, he's absolutely lying about that. And yeah, the fact that he's happily landing on 5, you can tell that, this is what he was going to pay us anyway. I mean, you guys just think that he genuinely didn't know. But Buka, you can pick up that, okay. So he heads in and he goes to the, goes in the back, comes back, and pays each of you, 5 silver pieces. He counts out each piece as he goes, too. Kind of like makes 3 stacks of them and then pushes them towards you guys.
On a scale, make sure they're...
Nice. Yeah, right.
Zuko says, you wouldn't have any of that Galandrian wine, would you?
Galandrian wine? Boy, you got expensive taste, my little one. You're going to have to work a lot harder to maintain that kind of lifestyle.
Well, I haven't exactly drinking any yet, but I would like more.
Well, you could talk to Karuta or Garrick over at the Shining Shovel. Either of them could help you. The Shining Shovels are local. I supply them. And we do have some Galantrian. Wait, did you buy that off Bill?
Maybe.
No, see, I told him it would find someone. Some fool would purchase that. You're not that lucky, Goblin, are you?
No, it's my cousin.
Oh, I see. No, we heard there was a goblin with a taste for alcohol. We thought maybe...
Buckle or something?
That's usually most goblins.
Oh.
Well, we love fire, and liquid fire is best, so...
And that brandy's quite the liquid fire, I tell you. Yeah. So... Well, then, when do you plan on going back, then?
Well, we have some other business to attend to, so it will most likely be in the next day or 2.
Right, Wes?
Maybe
Well, I mean,
3 at the as an outlier.
the packages will be waiting here. No one else is heading back as far as I know. We've got no one going. If you're full
Very
enough to
good.
head back there, then we'll certainly send them back with you. You made your way here safely, and if you've made it out into the Barrowmaze and back, you should be able to get these packages back to Bill. Now, with I saw you came in with some horses. I take it you want them stabled as well.
We do.
Yeah, we can take care of that for you. We'll be
Oh.
waiting here for you when you head back.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's not a free service, boys.
How much? What's the going rate for that?
I'll tell you what, the going rate for that will be something that the DMS will look up. But I'll tell you what you're getting for free, a valuable lesson in mercantile economics. And you can't put a price on that.
Right.
Get paid and know the costs.
I'm gonna make a note of that.
You
Very
give
wise.
it. Those are 2 of Bandrick's rules.
Aha. I'm gonna label them as such then.
True. You can
Bandrick
feel
rule
free to
number 1.
pass that wisdom around if you like. That's the only thing you'll get for free.
Fair enough.
Well, if you need anything else, you know your way around here.
Not particularly. It's not that huge of a town. It doesn't seem like we'll have too much trouble. But just out of curiosity, we're wondering where's the Duke's abode?
Duke's abode. You surely saw the castle, didn't you?
I was too busy looking at the wanted posters to see if I could find this character impersonating me.
That's boy, that the man with his name. It's really a burr in his saddle, isn't it?
See, it's just like I have to think about it all day long.
Well, the Duke's in there. Yeah.
All right.
Why you keep
very
asking
well.
about the Duke anyway? You got business with him.
Well,
You know what?
we just
We could tell you, but that information isn't usually free.
You small one, you're learning very quick. You'll be a member of the Silver
Oh, I'm
Standard
learning from
Merchant Company in no time.
that's great.
Study.
All right. Well, I've got business that needs to be attended to and other drovers that need a good hiding. So I've got to get back to work. This has been a pleasure.
We'll see you when we are heading on a
way
return trip to Helix.
If I'm not here, I'll have it waiting for you.
Excellent.
Enjoy the Motte, boys.
All right, and we'll head out. What do you guys want to do first? Do you want to arrange for a place to stay first? Yeah, okay.
We should arrange for a base before we get into trouble.
I like it. I like the way you think.
Okay.
I mean, I'm thinking we should talk to the Duke.
Yeah, I think we should as well, but I wouldn't mind, I guess, finding our place where we're going to stay in case we have to make a run for it.
Right.
Okay. So you guys make your way to the. It's the Bloated Halfling you're going to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It is a two-story.
Convinced us?
Say again?
He convinced us.
There you
wasn't
go. Yeah.
Wasn't a dead halfling.
Not a dead halfling. It's just a glutton. So you make your way over to this place, and you can see there is like what's hanging outside the place. There's a couple things that it's a two-story building, big kind of glass windows that face the street. And as you approach the place, you can hear the sound of flutes or like whistles or whatever being played inside. Kind of, you think of like a tin whistle type, thing. There's imagine 4 or 5 of them.
Not flutes of madness.
Not flutes of not maddening pipes. No. So you make your way up towards there, and that's the first sort of sensation you get, and you can see the sign hanging outside this establishment has the picture of a. It looks like a maybe triple-chinned halfling with a big smiling face, and it has it's carved in kind of a circular like plank or series of planks with bloated halfling, or maybe just has that image over it. So you guys open the door, and what you can see, the place is probably about 2/3 full at this time of day, and there's people running around, and it appears as if the entire the clientele are a mix of elves and dwarves and humans and halfling. There maybe is one or two half orcs in here as well. The majority of the staff, or if not all the staff, are all halfling. And they're all scampering around, kind of going wherever they want. And one of the little girls, kind of little women, goes by and says, "Take a seat wherever you want, boys. We'll be with you."
Thank you. Okay. So I'll let you guys lead the way.
Now, one thing you can tell, Buka, is that in the near the back of here, it looks like there's actually, the way there's, you think that maybe there's not a basement here, because set into sort of the, into sort of a the side of the back end of the building. There's sort of like earthen kind of mounds that have doors on them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you look over and you're like, that is.
I was like, okay, yeah. I'll ask
It's customary halfling. To this really seems to be in Hin communities. There's a kind of or not a nation, but like a region that is populated almost exclusively by halfling, or Hin as you call yourselves. Down to the south, and in that place, in the Five Shires, they actually.
You put this in Mystara. That's cool. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
What they'll actually.
Mystara, is it?
What's that?
Whereabouts in like Mystara or what?
Well, it's
where's the Duchy of Eric.
This campaign will never go outside of the Duchy of Eric.
Sure, but I just
right, so it doesn't. If you want to picture in the map, the region that sort of is the Haldanic Freehold, or
okay.
I've never really liked that myself. So that general area would be just full of the all of the northern reaches. So Highfell, the Forbidden Caverns of Archaea, that's out there.
Cool.
But in that region, though, where that's a place where everything is built with halfling primarily in mind, and it's one of the few places that has that, they'll, build their, their inns and so forth as burrows rather than as freestanding, structures. So it's a little slice of home that you may see here, Buka. Although if you lived as a slave before in Galantry, then maybe that wasn't... you didn't ever experience that.
I only heard about it in stories.
Yeah.
Right.
So they, you're sort of shown, you can pick whatever place you want here. You can pick a place by the window. You can pick a place by the wall. You can.
And what do the clientele generally look like? Are there adventurer types in here? Is it a mix of like farmers and that sort of thing, or?
There's certainly less farmers. Like the average crowd at the Brazen Strumpet is usually like local farmers and then adventurers, and then the one or two tradesmen. You always see Karg Barrelgut in there, the dwarf that runs the axe and anvil. You'll always see, if he's in town, you'll see Valeron, the elf, who's a Fletcher. But here, it's a much more diverse mix. Maybe some of these are travelers. Maybe some of these are adventurers or mercenaries looking for work. Some may be tradesmen. Some may be locals. There's actually a few in addition to the clientele, there is quite a few halfling in here as well. And whether they are clientele, locals, or they're traveling, it's not, it's difficult to tell. They all seem to be sort of chatting amongst each other anyway.
I just want to keep an eye out, just in general, for anybody who might stand out as interesting to me in whether positive or negative way.
Okay. So you do that. What about Buka and Zuko? You guys have anything in particular you're going to be keeping an eye out for or doing, or are you just going to grab a seat?
Yeah, grab a seat, ask, I guess, about rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, Zuko wants to look around for anybody shady as well, just because he's feeling an itch to pick some pockets.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, like, what do you mean by shady? Like, there's not like a guy in a darkened corner twirling a mustache, but.
I don't know.
Hey, it's Kevin McEvilson. Are you related?
Yeah.
Well, Zuko happens to be somewhat of a good goblin, so he's not just gonna randomly pick anybody's pockets. That, you know, he's gonna target somebody who looks like they're up to no good, or
Okay.
you know, might need to be taken down a peg or two.
Okay. So you guys get yourself settled down. But Zuko, you're sort of studying the crowd. It's it's a late afternoon crowd by this point. Buka, you get yourself sat down, and the Bargle, you're sort of. I'm picturing you're like surreptitiously kind of making your way across to make sure you sit down, and the camera will then follow. It'll track along and go out through the or pan out, I suppose, and out past the windows. And carry us across the street. People are starting to kind of go to either to their homes or out for, there's a couple of guards wearing the Ironguard crest on. They're heading off towards their watch, duty. There's a big cart that passes laden with some supplies from probably somewhere outside of the duchy. And we see that on the far side of the street, there are two figures standing there. One very tall, and one that is a little shorter. The tall one is thick, muscular, short cropped dark hair, and the shorter one's got long curly hair and curly blonde hair and wavy. I guess not curly. He's not like Art Garfunkel, but he's got wavy blonde hair and a beard, and he hits the guy who is standing next to him. He says, "You got good eyes, my friend. Good eyes indeed." How much did... one sec here. How much did Alzo say he'd pay for him? And looking down, he says... says something in another language we don't understand. He says, "And was that dead or alive?" Alive. Alive will be trickier. Well, enjoy your meal, Bargle. It'll be your last in Ironguard Motte. And we will end the session there.
That's great.
So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us back in the Barrowmaze, or I guess in the Duchy of Eric. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. Alternatively, you can reach me on Twitter. I'm there as Dungeon Musings. I'm also, you can reach me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. You can also, if you look in the link or the description of this video, you can find a link to our Discord channel, because we now have a Dungeon Musings Discord community too. So if you want to join us and chat about this campaign or any of our other campaigns, you can feel free to join us there. In addition, you may notice that in the description of this video, there is a link to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. We don't monetize the channel in any way. We don't run ads. We don't run a Patreon. If you are inclined to toss some shekels in the direction of the channel, I would just encourage you to click through and learn a little more about the Heroes Save Villages initiative, which benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. And actually, on that note, I do want to give one moment here. There is someone who very generously, there was a couple people who donated in the last little while. I just want to say a quick thank you here.
Cool.
For one, we had, let's see here. Well, of course, I mean, Marjorie was very generous a couple weeks back. Gregory Walsh gave us a $20 donation to the charity. So, Gregory, thank you so much for your generosity. And Kasim Sheikh, and I apologize if I got to your name, or I'm butchering your name, but Kasim very generously donated $259.81 to help us meet our annual target already.
That's awesome.
We're not even into the the fourth quarter, and we've hit our annual target. So what Kasim said was, "I just wanted to say thank you for all your hard work and videos, and the fact you supported charity. This way is even better." Well, Kasim, I'll tell you what's even better than that is your incredible generosity. So thank you so much for your very generous donation. That For those who are unfamiliar with the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, they're active in over 130 countries around the world. There are over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children that benefit from their services. So it's a terrific organization that really helps out kids. And as I keep saying in the channel, what gaming hero doesn't want to save a village? And what the SOS Children's Villages International Charity does is one of their primary activities is setting up communities, basically, with young women who are trained to provide a stable and supportive environment for these kids. So kids who would otherwise not have a childhood are given an opportunity to have a nurturing and supportive environment. And yeah, it's a really terrific organization. So, Kasim, thank you so much for your generosity. Gregory, thank you for your generosity. And Marjorie, of course, thank you for your generosity. And James as well, too. James Henderson, a couple weeks ago, too, one of our players from our Sunday games. James was very generously gave some money recently as well. So, thank you so much to everyone. If you are inclined, I have 4 more days until I have to rework my campaign or the campaign benefits too. In September, we're going to revamp that, and I think I'm going to have to adjust the target now because we already met our fundraising goal for it. So that's just fucking amazing. Anyway, but of course, I don't want anyone to feel obligated by any means. You know, it's a completely optional thing. However, if you are interested in kicking some money in the direction of the channel, I'd ask you to consider clicking or making those donations to them. All money goes directly to the charity. None of it's eaten up by a middleman. None of it goes to the channel. So, anyway, but last but not least, I want to thank my brave heroes. So, George, John, and Carl, thank you so much for joining me back in the Barrowmaze today, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Nice job. That was
look
fun.
forward to, seeing what happens next. So, for those listening at home, thank you again for joining us. And until next time, happy gaming.